Hey, before we get started on today's show, I want to share with you something that you may not be familiar with, and that's the Mindset Mastery Movement. Not that long ago, I started the Mindset Mastery Movement. And what it is it's a group coaching program that brings like minded individuals, primarily entrepreneurs, professionals, executives, together to really go into a deeper dive on the concepts that help you create your ideal life. And for many of you listening, you might be working on your business. How do I grow that? How do I grow my income to new levels, my financial life, my wealth? It could be working on your body and your health, as I am right now, too. It could be relationships. Ultimately, what I learned a long time ago was that anything and everything you've ever wanted is available to you, and it comes to you and through you by understanding some natural laws and universal laws and how to work with your mind and the universe around you. So we do a deep dive on that. We do Q&A once a month, group coaching. We do a live training for 90 minutes. And right now the doors are closed for it, but I want to give you an opportunity to get on the wait list to be the very first to know when we open the doors for new members. So if you like the sounds of that, go to www.benspangle.com/MMM and get yourself on the wait list, or you can click the link below in the show notes. All right. Hey, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about one of my favorite subjects, and that is understanding the law of attraction. There's a lot of talk about it. I want to help you have a deeper understanding of it so that you can apply the tools and strategies to work with it and create more things in your life. Before we do that, one of the things I love seeing is reviews from our listeners. I want to share two with you. These are coming from the States, actually. Thank you so much. We've got from A Batkins 09. Thank you. It says, Ben has very inspiring guests on his podcasts that bring loads of value, including tips and strategies for living your best life. Whenever I need a pick-me-up or some motivation, I turn this podcast on. Awesome. Another one, we've got awesome podcasts from Eric Allen. Ben's an awesome host. I love the way he asks real, raw questions with his guests that can pull out not only inspiring and motivating stories, but real tips that can change lives. This is a show you don't want to miss. Well, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, A. Batkins. And hey, I'm excited to jump in today's episode. You know, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you're no stranger to the law of attraction. Probably odds are if you found this show, it's not brand new information to you. Maybe it is. But the law of attraction is one of those things that it gets a lot of conversation around it these days. We got a lot of people that talk about it. I think there's a lot of people that talk about it that don't really understand it. And I have to tell you, I mean, I've been working with the law for, better part of a decade plus, and I'm still reminding myself, I'm still having to get myself back on track to get on the right frequency as I'm creating more and more of the life that I want. That being said, I remember getting in a point in my life where the only things I were attracting were bills, were not enough money, struggle in my business life, unhappiness, not getting the things I wanted, to now we're at a point in our life where things have dramatically transformed, where we've built an incredible business that pays us a lot of passive income, and we're grateful for that, where we've been able to get to the point that we can travel a lot and have this amazing family, these wonderful children, and so many things, enjoy great health. And I say that with you because as I begin to talk about really starting to understand this, these things that have happened in my life, and now I'm beginning to witness more and more in so many people that are coming through our courses and our programs and our seminars, as they're starting to really create and attract incredible things in their life. It doesn't happen by accident, but instead it happens by law. And so we want to begin to dive deeper into these laws. In the Hermetic Principles, it talks about these 7 Hermetic principles that really govern our universe, these universal principles. And one of these principles is not the law of attraction, but it's the one that impacts the law of attraction, and that is the law of vibration. And the law of vibration really simply says that nothing rests and everything vibrates. Now, what quantum physics has taught us, and what physics has taught us for a long time, is that's very true, that all molecules are vibrating energy. It's moving energy. And everything in our entire existence that you and I can sense in any way, shape, or form is some form in the material world. whether that's air, whether that's the chair that I'm sitting on right now, whether that's the headphones or speaker that you're listening to, whatever it may be, it's all energy, and it's all energy vibrating on a certain frequency. So the law of vibration says that nothing rests, everything's always vibrating. The law of attraction becomes a sub-law to the law of vibration. So since everything's energy and that everything's vibrating, how does this law of attraction works? You might have heard stuff like attracts like, what you think about, you bring about. And very true. The way the law of attraction works, in the sense that you and I are going to apply it in our lives, is that everything is energy and everything operates on vibration and frequency. So when you think a thought, your thought is a very potent form of energy. Your thought could be on varying degrees of vibration, and it can be operating on a certain level of frequency. And depending on the thought, it's going to dictate a lot of things for sure. But it's a form of energy. It's one of the highest forms of energy. And what happens in the law of attraction, it says that things of a similar energy, vibration, or frequency are going to be attracted to one another. We see this a lot. Some obvious examples, we'll even use it in expressions we use in our language, like birds of a feather flock together, or you become who you hang around. And well, one of the reasons why is that there's an energetic match. We're operating on a similar frequency, so it feels good. Feeling is the word that we use to describe vibration. So we'll say things like, man, that just feels really good. What we're really saying is that I am aware that I'm in a good vibration. Or, that just doesn't feel, I don't like the feel of that guy. I didn't like the feel of that meeting. I didn't like the energy, the vibe of that. And what we're saying there is that we're aware that we're on a lower level vibration. So understanding this, first and foremost, that the law of vibration, everything's moving, nothing's resting, that energy is the foundation of everything in our entire existence. When we begin to not only intellectually understand it, but begin to recognize that everything is energy. So stay with me for a minute. Everything is energy. So you know what that means? All the things that are in your life today are energy, and all the things that you want are energy. And if you want to bring more of the things you want in your life to your life, then your job is to become an energetic match, to get on the same wavelength, to get on the same frequency, or to be at that level of vibration, to vibe higher, if you will. What you want compared to where you are today is on a higher level of frequency or a higher level of vibration. One of my taglines is vibe higher, because I'm constantly working at how do I get my mind, my body, my actions, my thoughts, my feelings on those higher level frequencies. How do I begin to vibe higher so that I'm attracting more of the things I want into my life, and I'm taking the steps to produce that too. So what we're really looking for when you think of your life and you think of creating your reality by design and creating the things that you really want in your life is becoming an energetic match. So what's the secret to becoming an energetic match? If you've never watched the movie The Secret, I'd recommend doing it. It's a great movie, and it teaches some wonderful things around the law of attraction and manifestation. The secret's really simply, I'm going to sum it up for you. And I understand that we could do, probably an entire seminar just on this one concept. We could do a whole weekend long podcast on this one concept, and it wouldn't be enough, because we've got to constantly remind ourselves, due to our past conditioning. The secret for creating your life by design, the secret for making the law of attraction work in your life, is to understand two main things that we need to do. Number one is we need to have a clear intention, clear desire, a clear want, to have something that we want to create in our life. One of the reasons why so many people struggle, perhaps you've read about the law of attraction, you've watched The Secret, you've been to some seminars, you've been to some events, but you're thinking, nah, I don't know, I'm not sure if it really works. Well, it does work. It does work. You're always attracting things into your life. You might not be attracting what you want into your life, but I promise you are always attracting things into your life, good, bad, and indifferent. People, places, circumstances, conditions, you name it. They're attracted by you. A lot of this is unconscious. Nonetheless, you're attracting it. So the secret is this, is that people will sometimes begin to hear about this stuff and they'll say, well, yeah, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to think about making more money. I'm going to think about getting the promotion at work or attracting the spouse that I want or whatever. And we'll begin to picture it. And that's good. That's a good place to start. But the law of attraction does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you're being, or in other words, who you are. And who you are in any moment, who you are is linked to what we would call your state of being. Your state of being is very simply the combination of the way you're thinking and the way you're feeling. And if we can get these two in alignment, we can begin to manifest the life that you're wanting so much faster. What happens is, though, the majority of the time for a lot of people, when we have a desire in our life, usually it's because we feel like that thing's missing. We want more money, so we feel like we don't have enough money. We want, we want the relationship because we feel like I don't have the relationship. We want the body because I'm overweight right now. We want the business because I'm tired of this job. And often what happens, the reason why the law of attraction may seem like it's not working for you the way that you want to is because your messages that you're sending out, your energy, the frequency you're living on, the vibration is mixed. So on one end, you could say, well, I want to be wealthy. But then on the other hand, you're feeling broke. Or, maybe even different. You say, well, I'm using affirmations. I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy. But you're feeling poor. You're feeling broke. So you have an intention on one hand of being wealthy, but then you have the feeling state that tells me I am not. And if no matter how much we affirm, no matter how much we say things, no matter how much we speak these things into existence, without attaching the feeling state, it's very unlikely that that's going to manifest in your life because you're not coming from a place of being it. The state of being is not one of it. It's an incoherent message. The messages are mixed. The words you're saying might be, I am that, right? I can say whatever I want. However, if I don't attach the emotional state, the feeling state of being it, the universe, God, source, whatever you choose to call it, does not interpret just by your words, but it interprets by your state of being, thought plus feeling, thought plus emotion. So when we're learning to create from this infinite field, this infinite source, we have to understand what's the language that it understands. And the language it understands is both intention, thought, image, yes, and emotion. So the secret is begin to merge your intentions, your thoughts with the emotions of your desired future. So I'll give you a quick example. Let's say wealth is something you're working on creating more of in your life. It's a great thing to create more of. So you might think of a certain income level, you might think of a certain lifestyle that you want to have, and you might even cut out pictures and put them on your vision board. It might be picturing it, but if you do not attach the emotion to this, the likelihood of it manifesting is super slim. Now you might say, man, but Ben, if I just work hard enough, if I put in more hours, if I make more calls, if I show up to the office early, eventually I'm going to get there. Hey, maybe you will. Maybe you will. Odds are, though, if you've got this far into our show, that you're thinking to yourself, there's got to be a better way than just working longer, just working harder. And to be clear, I have nothing against hard work. I value it in my own life. I love putting time and energy into things that I'm passionate about and I love and I'm great at. And there's a rhythm to that and a season to it. But I also believe if your only solution is, I don't have what I want, so I just need to work harder, work longer. Well, there's only so far you can take that. And there's also only so much happiness that you're willing to trade off for a period of time before you realize, man, was that all worth it? Was that all worth it? So I want to encourage you to begin to really reflect on coming into a state of alignment, both what I'm thinking about the things that I want and beginning to assume the feeling, or as Neville Goddard taught, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So in other words, what would it feel like if? These concepts changed my life. I would love to tell you that I practice them all the freaking time and I never, fall back into my old program. And that's just not true. I'm human too. I'm not one of those guys on social media that pretends that everything's all good and I got it all figured out. Listen, I'm working on all this stuff too. And I'll tell you, this stuff has created some pretty wonderful miracles in my life. I've been able to attract some pretty incredible things into my life. Sometimes it's the small things that just show up out of nowhere. My wife the other day, I'll give you a quick example. We were writing down some things that we wanted, as we often do, just working on some goals, some desires. One of the things she wanted was Taylor Swift tickets. But specifically, she said, I want to go to the concert November 2024. She wants some Taylor Swift tickets. Later that day, so this is the morning, that afternoon, she gets a message from one of our friends and says, hey, I got in the draw, because you have to get in a draw, I guess. I got in the draw and I got X amount of Taylor Swift tickets. I bought them. It's for November 2024. Do you want to come? And I thought, man, that's awesome. That manifested pretty quickly. So sometimes it's stuff like that. Sometimes it's the bigger things like getting the home that we wanted, creating the business, whatever it might be. My whole point is that I know this stuff works. And the more we practice it, the more we notice it in our lives. And the more we notice it in our lives, the more it seems that this infinite power, this presence, this unified field, this source, this God, this intelligence, the universe, the more it seems, source seems to provide more and more into our life. So we've covered a few different things today. What I'd like to leave you with is closing on this concept. Hopefully you're remembering this, that the combination of your intention, your thought, your desire, the thing you want, and the feeling as if will help you create miracles in your life. The law of attraction is not something that you get to choose when it works, or I'm really going to go and do it. I'm going to activate the law of attraction. No. It's always operating. It's a law. Gravity is always operating. It's a law. So it's not a question of, is it operating? I'm going to go activate it. It's just, why don't you move into alignment with more of what you want? All right. I hope you enjoyed today. I've had some fun with this stuff. We'll be having more episodes on this, deeper dives into manifestation, deeper dives into strategies, tools, concepts, and the mindsets that you can apply in your life, because I want you to create your dream. I want you to be living your ideal life. I know you can, and I know there's a part of you that knows that you can too. So practice this stuff. Work with this stuff. If you're skeptical, try it out. It's okay to be skeptical, but why not try? What do you have to lose in at least applying this stuff? Anyways, thanks for being here today. If you're new to the show, click subscribe. Love to have you stay around. Secondly, if you have not yet left a review, please do so on Apple Podcasts, if you don't mind. And thirdly, if you enjoyed the episode today, share this with somebody else. Maybe share it on your social media, your story. Maybe share it with a good friend of yours, a family member of yours. But let's get this information out there to more people so they're beginning to create their ideal life by design too. Hey, I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.